family but not by DNA. Dave and Adam are two of a kind, and they wanna borrow some of your day to talk into your ear holes about midi-chlorians and roller coasters. Those two things are unrelated, but so are they. They're unrelated at birth, like most people who aren't related. Unrelated at birth, but they're brothers in a brotherly way. Now it's time for the phenomenal brother and the golden voice of the South. They're brothers from different mothers, but they're both really proud to be unrelated at birth. Brothers but not by birth, family but not by DNA. Dave and Adam are two of a kind, and they wanna borrow some of your day to talk into your ear holes about midi-chlorians and roller coasters. Those two things are unrelated, but so are they. They're unrelated at birth, like most people who aren't related. Unrelated at birth, but they're brothers in a brotherly way. Now it's time for the phenomenal brother and the golden voice of the South. They're brothers from different mothers, but they're both really proud to be unrelated at birth.
Oh, we're live.
Yeah, we are.
I did push the button this time, and so I felt like I couldn't push the button.
There's a big countdown clock on the screen and everything.
I'm watching Bama basketball.
Oh, who, by the way, we were up 27-6 when you would put wow, and we've scored the same amount of points since then, both Alabama and LSU. So please stop.
Jinxer.
Tell you,
The jinxer. You're not invited to Fansville anymore.
Nope.
the teams are fed. By the way, below us is the dumpster fire that is City of Cleveland.
Hey, that's not nice. You called me a dumpster fire.
I'm not calling you BK per se.
Mm.
So if you are from our old show Sideline Warning, we always had a caller that called in the City of Cleveland, and our old co-host over on Sideline Warning, Ben Foster, always called the City of Cleveland a dumpster fire, and there he is in the flesh, BK.
Howdy, BK.
I mean, it's like you think I represent the whole entire city. It's kind of funny. You do realize I grew up in Alabama.
You did?
Yeah.
You did claim to be the City of Cleveland when you called in.
That was my neighbor. Do you remember? Was it me? What are you talking about?
I'm sorry.
That's my neighbor.
My neighbor.
That's Canadian.
Anyway. Isn't that what most Cleveland people are?
My camera's... Why is my camera blurry?
What's going on?
You guys talk for a second. I got to figure my camera out.
What? Okay. Jeez. I didn't know
There we
Adam
go.
was such a diva.
I mean, I can do this too. I'm giving you a virtual high five, guys.
Hang on, wait. Do that again, actually. Put it up to the camera. All right, thank you. How you doing, BK?
Hey, what's up? How's it going? You doing all right? Family good? Yeah.
Hey.
Ooh.
What?
You're pushing it there, Moody.
I'm not a music hall.
Yeah, that's right. You're not musical.
Oh, you are
Knocked it out.
horrible.
You set it up. That was a softball pitch.
He is going away. So BK, how's life?
Yeah, you guys are definitely
ahead,
brothers. Mm-hmm. Yep.
All right, there you go. You're back.
Mm-hmm. Nope, he's not back.
I didn't do that.
Wait, is Brian able to push the buttons?
I haven't pushed anything, so
Uh-oh.
I don't know where that
My
goes.
hands were on the keyboard. I'm not touching the mouse.
Okay, fine then. All right. So what are we going to talk tonight, gentlemen? Life.
Sure.
Yeah.
Life check. We're doing another life check. That's what we're
Live check. I got a question. If you order a burrito bowl from Chipotle, do you mix it up before you eat it, or do you just eat it as is?
Ooh,
Mix it up.
Well, first off, I don't order burrito bowls from Chipotle.
Why not?
I don't like Chipotle.
What?
Mm.
I'm
It's
sorry.
you literally can make it any way you want it. You can have whatever experience you choose.
But I don't like Chipotle.
Okay.
All right. Well,
Yeah. Well, if you want to be the contrarian of the group, that's fine. Go ahead.
Well, no. If you're going to take me to a fast food Tex-Mex place, I guess you can't call that Mexican because that's not really Mexican. There's two places you better take me. There's a place in town called Salsaritas.
Okay.
And then a place called Tijuana Flats in the Great St. Cloud.
Tijuana Flats. I don't know that you can compare Tijuana Flats and Chipotle though.
Yes, you can.
They're both Mexican inspired.
That's how I say Chipotle.
I think I may have eaten there.
They're both Mexican inspired. Literally your whole experience, start to finish. Tijuana Flats,
Yeah,
you
but
order from the menu.
get the
You don't
cool-
get to customize that much.
Okay, fine.
You get the cool?
It does Moe's count?
Moe's.
Welcome to Moe's.
Moe's is a cheap version of Chipotle. Moe's and Chipotle are in the same category, but Chipotle's like the Lexus, and Moe's is.
No.
What are you talking about?
I like the flavor at Moe's better.
Oh, dude, there's no way. The chips are always stale at Moe's. It's so, I don't know. Chipotle just for me is better quality than Moe's. That's how I kind of see it.
Are we really?
But anyway, to answer your question, BK, I mix it and then take half of it and I save that next half for lunch tomorrow.
It's very responsible of you. Yeah, right? Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, Jeffrey Martin asked us a question and we totally didn't answer it. I'm sorry. Is there going to be a YouTube stream? Yes. The YouTube stream, it should be streaming right now. Sorry, Jeffrey. We didn't get there quick enough.
From another Orlando native who's around the Tijuana Flats constantly, they are not the same.
Okay.
Tijuana Flats is like the Mexican place that you would have eaten at in college. Chipotle it's different.
Oh, what was the name of that Mexican place on the strip? El Mexicano? No,
I don't know. I heard
On the strip.
El Fishbowl Margarita.
I don't remember that one.
El No Remembro.
Right.
Yeah, I know.
Mm-hmm.
That's making me mad. Where's Carly Malden when we need her? Why is she not on?
Wah, wah. Who are you typing to, man? You have a guest on. Who are you typing to?
You know, I mean, you could actually just look at the pictures after the national championship game with the strip, and you could probably figure out which one it was.
No, because it's not there anymore. Do we have to talk about that?
This is
Adam-
Mo. Pacer
Aliens.
to Chipotle's Lexus.
Ooh, call it a pacer, man.
See, no.
Or how about a Gremlin?
Dadgummit, now this is bothering me.
I mean, you could have called it a Pinto too. I mean, come on, it's a Mexican restaurant, you know. Is that
At least
say that?
at least that fits the bean. Yeah, exactly. So are you Googling it now, Dave?
I am. By the way, your mom asked BK a question.
Uh-oh.
So did you go to Bama?
Yes, that's where I met. I can't figure out, you know,
Other
the
way.
guy.
Other way.
Yeah, I'm over here.
There we go. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. Met that guy. Yeah.
Elring Khan.
Where was it?
Right by. So it was on the second block. You go past Rounders, and then there's the Mexican restaurant. It was right before Jupiter. Or it was the block before Jupiter. Right before Egan's.
You're going to have to go back to 2002 because that was probably the last time I was on the strip in Tuscaloosa.
I don't know. I don't know that I ever spent much time at all on the strip.
I didn't either.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, I really didn't know. I have to tell you now,
you
where I
did.
probably would have the most of the time I would have spent on the strip. The last time I went to Tuscaloosa, they built that
Coffee shop?
Publix on the strip. That Publix would be where I would have probably spent most of my time on the strip.
Were you with us, Dave, when we went to some bar on the strip and a guy tried to pick a fight with Brad Woods, I think, was it?
Yes, I was there.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
If anybody knows Brad Woods, why would you try to start a fight with him? No. How about Moses the Nova or the Nova?
Yeah.
Y'all are weird. Okay. And then Jeffrey Martin said the darn picture of Mando and Wanda threw me. I thought it was an ad for Disney Plus.
It is. It is.
It was perfect picture for what we're talking about tonight. We're talking about both Mando because Adam finally watched it.
Jeez.
Took him, and he calls himself a Star Wars fan, BK.
Well, I mean,
I'm a Star Wars fan.
Here's the thing about Adam. He's more responsible than we are, Dave. So he probably had good responsibilities first. We put Mandalorian first. So,
I mean, there's there's no argument. None. He is. Yes, you are correct, sir.
mm-hmm, yeah.
Is that a Huntsville mug, Adam?
It is the Starbucks Alabama mug. It's got Tuskegee and the beaches and the Vulcan.
It's got the what?
Nakalula Falls, the Vulcan.
It's got the beaches?
The beaches.
Yeah.
What kind of beaches?
Like Gulf Shores or whatever, I guess. Orange Beach. I don't know. Where did you go on vacation before you went across the state lines to buy liquor?
The Orange Beach. Hey, your camera went fuzzy again.
Wait. You have to go across state lines to get liquor in Orange Beach?
At a better price. You know, Alabama.
Okay.
Alabama liqueur is a little bit more expensively priced.
Gotcha.
Adam's frozen.
Let it go, Dave. Let it go.
Oh, you stole my joke. Come on, man. You can't be on the show.
There you go.
and steal my jokes.
Mm.
You can't be on the show. Sorry, my computer froze up.
He's stealing my jokes. I said you're frozen, and BK said let it go.
Let it go.
Hey, we haven't started recording yet, so you could theoretically figure something out. There you go. You're back.
All right. Well, while you guys wax lyrical for a minute, I'm going to reboot. I'll be right back.
All right.
Sounds good. All right, BK. So how's life up in Cleveland?
It's cold and it's snowy right now.
Snowy?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we've got about an inch of snow on the ground right now.
And the city's probably not shut down, is it?
Oh,
yeah. We can't do that because it's got our Twitter handles. You're not the golden voice of the South.
I don't think
That would be me. That would be me.
I don't think I'm the golden voice with the toilet bowl. I don't think I was.
Hey.
Hey.
So part of the reason that we were going to have you on was we were going to talk a little more video games, but then Adam decided to watch Mandalorian, and that became more pressing. So while Adam's not back, Tell us about your favorite video games growing up, and we'll have a little bit of a flashback to last week's show.
Flashback. Can we do the? I was a lot like what you guys said. Mine was NES first, and my favorite game on the NES is kind of sentimental. It's Legend of Zelda, and there's two reasons. One was when I got my Nintendo, my grandmother on my dad's side, so my granny, she bought me 3 games, and one of them was The Legend of Zelda, and I don't know whoever the person was at the toy store or Walmart, wherever she bought them, just like she probably asked him, what video games can I buy him? And they threw Legend of Zelda in, but so I had the gold gold one with the map and everything. So that was always special to me because she's no longer with us. And the other part is one of my cousins that was in Alabama. He would come over to our house and we would play Zelda. Like he had his own character, I had my own. We would like compare. Like if he found some secret, he'd tell me about it, and I go into my character and find it. There's even a story where I let him borrow it for like a week and came back, and my character was deleted somehow, and I deleted his character. But the reason that it brings back a lot of memories because he is also no longer with us too.
Oh man.
Yeah. So whenever I think of Zelda, I always think of those two reasons. So that was one of my favorite games for the NES. Legend of Zelda. And then, of course, I had Mario, Duck Hunt. I had the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles games. I had the Back to the Future game that you mentioned last week, and I could never get past like the second part of it. It was
I couldn't
hard
either
for me. That was the hardest game I think I've ever played.
Battletoads was the hardest game.
Yeah, I didn't play Battletoads, but definitely for the NES, that was ridiculous, and that was my all-time favorite movie, as you know, Dave. So it's I hated that game. I was like, this is the waste of the license.
I actually thought about you this afternoon, BK, because we were talking about Pete Golden has decided to stay at Alabama and not go to Texas, and Adam said, "Well, we're like Huey Lewis in the News." I said, "What? Out of time?" and that's and he said, "No, stuck with you."
Yeah. Stuck with you. Yeah, That's a good way to put it.
By the way, Adam's dad asked you where you live, BK.
Where do I live currently?
Yeah.
Northeast of Cleveland in a city called Mentor, but you have to say it right. It's Menor. That's how everybody up here says it. It's not Mentor if you look at it, spelled the same way. That's called Menor. You live in Menor. So that's kind of like the Yankee way of saying it, but Cleveland and Northeast Ohio accent. So I'm not far from the PA border, which is one of the reasons why we live in this area, because my wife's family is over there in that area.
Okay.
Yeah. So Vance says, since I missed last week live, anyone ever watch the Angry Video Game Nerd on YouTube?
Angry Joe, I think is his name.
I don't know. Now I need to eventually, because this could be fun. Maybe we'll watch it after we record. If it's Vance, tell us this. Is it unrelated at birth friendly?
No, it's not. If it's the same guy, I think it is. No.
Okay, then maybe we'll watch it later and talk about it on Unrelated at Birth with the edited version. Okay, anyway, so we are finally going to get to talk Mandalorian. I was really hoping you didn't finish it, Adam. I was going to.
I can't wait. I can't keep up. You've been bugging me for weeks to finish it. Now I finally finish it, and now you wish I hadn't finished it.
So I was going to see if, I was going to try to get you to. Oh, I like your pop there. I was.
Hey, I like Adam's better.
Oh, here we go.
It's like showing a squirrel. Squirrel.
Don't eat those. Don't eat those, Grogu.
Okay.
No.
Anyway.
No.
I was going to I knew you were at the last time you and I talked. You were at episode 5 where Ahsoka came out, and so I was hoping that you were going to stay there, and I would say, all right, let's see what you predict for the rest of the season, and then we could have. But this is good though. This is good. We can finally talk about theories and all that. And then we all watched WandaVision. Okay.
Yeah, it's great.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll get into that.
We will get into that after that. Okay, so we're going to start recording. Everybody ready? Everybody ready?
We're ready.
Okay. Hold up, Jeffrey Martin. He's Grogu with Force Ghost because in Dave's view he wasn't on there.
Well, he was from a certain point of view.
So
We can talk about that.
I have what you call a green screen.
It's a green wall.
It's a green wall. Yeah, it's
The green
Fenway Park.
monster. Yeah.
Fenway Park.
Do we want to have the room at Patey behind me now again?
Man, all of a sudden. Whew.
All of a sudden you can smell it.
This is what he looks like.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. One more question about Virgil because I actually want to know the answer to this. What's it like living in Ohio as a Bama fan? Do you wear that hat outside?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Especially now, since here's the thing about at least Northeast Ohio sports fans, they get all excited whenever their teams are doing good, but the moment that they lose, for whatever, it could be a legitimate loss. They're just like, oh yeah, the team's crap, just typical Cleveland. So they really don't care about college sports, anything. It's mostly pro, like the Browns, of course, right now. But there are a lot of Alabama fans everywhere. Yesterday when I was, my wife is going through treatments for ovarian cancer, and I was in the Cleveland Clinic Cancer Center, and one of the nurses walked out. She had an Alabama lanyard attached to her ID. So we're out here.
Wow.
So it's not really bad. I mean, they may just look at me kind of funny, but I'm just like, you're just jealous. It's okay. I get it.
Nah, Ohio fans are usually funny anyway.
They are very funny.
So
The
all right,
Ohio fans.
we're recording.
Okay.
3, 2, 1. And welcome back into another exciting, unrelated at birth. As always, you've got the one, the only, the golden voice of the South, the human jukebox, Dave Adams, coming to you live and in living color from the top of the state of Alabama. That's right, in Madison, Alabama, in the Unrelated at Birth podcast studios. And as always, I brought my friend along from the House of Mouse, the Southern Command of the Unrelated at Birth podcast studio, from St. Cloud, the phenomenal brother, Adam Joseph Russell.
Wow, I feel like I'm getting introduced. I watched one of the episodes of The Last Dance the other day, the first one where they were introducing them before they got their rings. I feel like I just got introduced, man. You used the whole thing, even the Southern Command.
I know. All right, here, let's see if I can do this. From North Carolina,
Doom.
6'6", Michael Jordan. How's that?
And so anybody who wants to get into podcasting, that is not just a great intro take on a basketball player. That's a great way to wake up your kids upstairs.
Oh, I'm in a soundproof room, dude.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
My room is sound.
Thank you for the wonderful intro. Regardless, Dave. Thank you.
Yeah, I haven't even got a text message from Amanda. That's how you know she couldn't hear me.
Wow.
I know. I'm impressed.
Consider we used to hear the herd of turtles running around up there.
I know.
It's amazing.
Carrie says, Bama basketball. Thank you very much. Yes, we're looking good.
We're actually winning and continuing to win.
Yes, I know. We're failures.
Yeah, always.
Throwback. Now, there's a throwback. There's a reason we say that we're failures. Anyway, so we also have on another friend from Alabama, but he's not living in Alabama anymore. He's living in the dumpster fire of Cleveland, all the way up north. BK.
What's up?
Ryan Key. What's going on, buddy?
What's up? I'm a friend. We're all friends here. That's great. That's
We're
awesome.
all friends. We're all friends. Carrie, all right. So Carrie says, how many times in college did you guys want to punch Dave when he did that? Did what?
Yeah, you're gonna have to be more specific because there were multiple things.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Look, okay, I can't have my two college best friends on here and y'all just going off. I don't know if I'm okay with this.
When did we not want to punch Dave? Is the real question. Yeah, that's the real question.
When I sang, when I played Xbox, when I talked about my ex-girlfriends, when
I mean, if you want to talk about your ex-girlfriend, we can.
Keep going.
No, we're not going to.
For another show, I got it. Yeah, another show.
Yeah, another show. Maybe not unrelated to birth. That's I'm going to drink my Blanton's and it's going to be happy.
A brand new podcast all about Dave.
Don't
Every
give him
week
ideas.
we're on someone from Dave's past.
Carrie said the MJ intro. I don't know if I did that much in college.
I don't think I ever heard you do that before we did this podcast.
I mean, I've heard him do it before when we were talking about, the bull stuff, but I don't think he did it unknowingly, or at least I don't know.
Yeah.
But your answer is sufficed.
Exactly.
I mean,
So why are we here? Why are we here, dearly beloved?
We're dearly beloved. We are here. We are gathered here today for this thing called life.
R.I.P. Prince.
Prince moved a little south on that one.
Yes, he did. Okay, so we are here to talk Mandalorian and WandaVision. Adam finally watched Mandalorian, even though it's about, what are we, middle of January?
It's called
been
savoring.
out.
Savoring.
Kind of like I did with this bottle of Blanton's.
How long did you have that bottle of Blanton's?
4 months, 5 months.
Okay, all right. We'll call that for you. That's savoring. Yes.
That's not like a bottle of Blanton's.
Like, it's almost like Adam just called him not too bad of a drunk, really. I mean, just said, 4 months. Yeah, you're fine. You're fine. Don't worry about it.
Good. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Well, Adam had one for 2 years, so
that's savoring. Mm-hmm.
And I drank a third of it
in one shot.
in one.
Happy birthday. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. Anyway,
Carrie wants me to tell everybody what he finally got today. Carrie got the holy grail of a Hulk Hogan pop that he's been looking for years.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
All right, I got to know how much.
Yeah.
How much is it worth, or how much did he?
Comment down below. How much did he pay for it?
Yeah, how much did he pay? Yeah.
Let's. All right, Carrie, comment how much you paid for it if you're okay. Ballpark. You don't have to tell us exactly. And then
I
comment
want to the penny. It's not. No. It's not worth it if it's not to the penny. I want to know.
We have to have after tax. Okay?
Because what we have to figure out now is, did he get a good deal and jumped on it, or he was finally like, I can't stand it anymore. I've got to have it, and then he,
I think it's a little bit.
That's
of that
what I got to know.
Yeah, I kind of want to know the I haven't looked it up recently, but what's the PPG on that thing?
The Pittsburgh Paints. What?
Right.
The what?
He said it was the last one to complete the collection. PPG. Isn't that the price
per game? Points per game, right?
I don't know. Adam's looking up something now.
I'm looking up the PPG for it. Top price guide. I know what you meant.
Yeah. Anyway, so we're here to talk Mandalorian and WandaVision while Adam is looking all that up. Which one do we want to start on, gentlemen? Do we want to save the best for last, or do we want to talk about the crap that was WandaVision first?
Wow.
Crap. That's far from true, Dave. That's far from true.
Wow.
There you go. He said, Carrie overpaid slightly, but the box is 8 out of 5, 8.5 out of 10.
Okay, so you're not going to answer the question. I got it. It's all good. I understand. It's all good. It's all good.
Yeah. All right. So what do we want to talk first, Mando or?
Let's not bury the lead. Let's get to Mando.
Okay. All right. So do we want to talk about our reactions of episode 10 first, or?
Wait.
Or
so real quick. So how is it that you Google Hulk Hogan on Pop Price Guide, and the sixth thing that comes back is Willy Wonka?
That is
someone needs to look at their search capabilities on that one. Anyway, so Mandalorian, what was your question?
So, do we want to start with the big surprise, or do we want to go
Let's build up to it.
I was about to say it's good. Yeah.
Okay, let's build up to it. I'll say, can I give one overall impression of season 2?
Yeah.
We'll start at the 50,000 foot view and then dive down from there. I enjoyed season 1. Mandalorian, I think, is one of the best Star Wars products to come out, in my opinion, since Rogue One. I'm a huge Rogue One fan, but I think since the original movies, it's done more. So you could buy a 5-day park hopper for what he paid for the Funko Pop. Okay, duly noted. I'm going to go Google that next, but I'll make my point first. One thing about season 1 that threw me off a little bit, that I think season 2 at least had going for it, was that it just seemed kind of random. Yeah. Like I picked up this kid and now all of a sudden I'm breaking this dude out of prison and doing this other thing. What's the adventure of the week, Mando? You know, and I'm okay with it because it kind of harkens back to that Indiana Jones weekly serial kind of mentality, you know, of what's the latest thing going on. But this one at least had the journey to tie it together. And what I think season 2 did for Mandalorian is what Doctor Who gets right a lot of the times, especially with Chibnall writing, is they tie things together.
Yep.
When he's on the seafaring planet and he needs to pay the person to fix his ship, he slides over the Mon Calamari money that he got in the very first episode. When they need a sharpshooter to help out with this mission, they go back and get the guy from season 1 that was trapped in the prison ship. And everything came back and served a purpose in season 2. So it didn't feel quite as random, you know,
including the person we saw at the end of when they were first on Tatooine in the first season.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So instead of it's like kind of like Marvel. At first it feels random, and then you see where they were going with it all along, and they kind of have the payoff on the back end. So
my view of Mandalorian, and if you think about it this way, is season 1, it's like you're playing a video game. He leveled up every episode.
Yeah.
And then like season 2, you could think, well, he's leveled up. Now what do you do? Well, now you go out questing. So his first quest was find the child a Jedi. So that was his first quest, and he met people along the way. So, and you're right about them tying everything in together. You know, especially like we were waiting for all the way up to the last episode to see, okay, who are they going to bring back from the previous episodes and go off and fight Moff Gideon. So they really do a good job. Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni, they need to run Star Wars.
I think I sent you a picture. It was 2 little kids playing with Tinker Toys or Connects or whatever it was, and they had this huge grin, and you could tell it was Christmas morning. And the caption said, "Favreau and Filoni playing with Star Wars."
Yeah. Pretty much. Yeah.
Favreau and Filoni are coming at it like Star Wars fans. They are tying everything together and just making it perfect.
Well, and they're doing what they couldn't pull off with the 3rd trilogy, which is have a consistent storyline that they actually see through and have a plan for what they want to pull off. And I think that's seeing that they can do that. I think the other thing that Mando shows me is that Star Wars is no longer, I'll say this, no longer a product best consumed in 2.5-hour chunks, 3 movies at a time. It is a product that is better served by 30 to 45-minute seasons of episodes, because when you try to tell the entire Skywalker saga and how it plays out post Return of the Jedi in 9 hours of screen time, you got to cram it all in, and you end up having Snoke get chopped in half, and well, what the heck was Emperor doing here, and why did Rey do that, and none of that made sense, and you glossed over this. But you can take your time with a show like Mando and actually draw some things out across multiple episodes. I would honestly be fine if they stayed away from the movies for maybe 5 years and let this kind of play out.
I think the what's going on in the internet is that they are going to make more Star Wars movies, but they're not going to be doing it at least until a couple more years. So that would pretty much, what you're saying, your timeline, you said. And to think about with, the sequels, I really love the first one, The Force Awakens, because they created some really interesting characters, especially with Rey and Finn. So can you imagine, like they tanked Finn's character? I think most people admit that, like Finn's character, so much promise, and they tanked him. So could you imagine if they took Finn's character and just did like the episodes? It would have been great. It would have been great to see like his progression. You could explain everything. You could have Rey in the background for his stuff, and nobody looks at Rey. They want to be focused on Finn, but you couldn't do that in the 2.5 hours of movies.
Well,
apparently.
and if you want to, and sorry, Dave, I'll let you talk here in a minute.
No, it's fine. I'm good. I'm loving this.
If you want to make a Poe Dameron series where you show him learn the importance of trusting your leaders over the course of several episodes, I'm cool with that. But in the middle of the running from the First Order, that's not the time to spend a whole movie teaching Poe Dameron one single life lesson about leadership.
Yep.
It's not really the place for it, you know.
So I'm over here listening to y'all, but I'm also watching the comments. Yeah. And my jaw,
like a good host. Good job.
Yeah, my jaw just hit the floor.
Uh-oh.
When Vance Cope says Favreau should be in charge of all Lucasfilms, let Filoni run Star Wars part. Cool. But then Vance just made the comment of all comments. A Favreau Indiana Jones universe.
Well, think about the episode 5, the tragedy.
Yeah.
They shoot that mortar shell up and she kicks that stone over and it rolled down the hill and they were running from it, similar to Indiana Jones. Could it be a little tease? I know it's an Easter egg. It's just a funny little Lucasfilm moment. But, you know, that got me thinking when that happened, you know?
Yeah. So let's dive in. So when we first see, and we're going to talk spoilers, but it, like I've said, it's been a month. If you haven't seen it yet, sorry. So when Mando first goes,
if you're watching it after me, too bad.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So when Mando goes to the city and they walk into the bar and you see the Boba Fett armor, what was your first thought?
It's not Boba Fett. He's too skinny. That's what I thought.
Oh, you thought that. Okay. So I took the bait. I thought it was Mando, or thought it was Boba. And then the whole time I thought, okay, well, that was the tease. We're not going to get Boba Fett. And then the end of the episode, they pan up to this guy. And Adam's immediate thing was, this Boba Fett. I texted you right after I watched the episode because you and I were watching it real time, Brian. And we, you know, I didn't want to think it was Boba because I thought, okay, this is too easy. Could it be Captain Rex? Could it be, we knew we were getting Ahsoka. So could it be somebody from the Clone Wars series? I was maybe reading into it too much because we've already seen the tease of Boba Fett from the first season. Yeah.
Well, I knew when, which episode was it? The one with the armor, actually. When the Krayt Dragon, the cave that the Krayt Dragon was living in was an old Sarlacc pit. So obviously Sarlaccs are vulnerable and Krayt Dragons live on Tatooine. So I think that was the connection where a Krayt Dragon probably attacked the Sarlacc and then he escaped in the madness somehow. Because it did say you'll be slowly digested over 1,000 years. So it doesn't kill you instantly.
Right.
You know, so I think once we get to the Book of Boba Fett, when that starts coming out in December, I think that's going to end up being maybe how that one starts.
Do we get flashbacks of how he escaped the Sarlacc pit?
I think you have to explain it. I think you have to.
I don't know if they're going to do that right off the bat. I think they've got to establish why the Book of Boba Fett is.
Sure.
Is it going to be just him, you know, trying to, I don't know, rule as Jabba did in Tatooine, or what is he, we don't know what he's going to do with, like, spoiler alert, you know, he takes over Jabba's palace at the, you know, the last episode. But the one thing that, you know, you talk about the Krayt Dragon, I don't know if it was a non-canon story, but they did, there was a tie-in whenever the Krayt Dragon appeared that there was a story saying that the Krayt Dragon is the one who killed the Sarlacc in Return of the Jedi. So that would make sense that they would, you know, they've been taking stuff from all the stuff that Disney not considered canon anymore, and they're making it canon. So definitely with the Krayt Dragon being a Sarlacc pit, you could say, well, that's probably where Luke fought Jabba and Boba ended up, you know, nosediving in. So,
well, and that's also, we can think about it this way too, is we saw how they defeated the Krayt Dragon. Mm-hmm. He went in him, used that boost, the jetpack to get out, the exact same way that Boba supposedly got out of the Sarlacc pit. So doing that, I think they kind of made that Easter egg of, hey, it's possible. This is what happened.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's kind of interesting, like, to think about Boba, like, okay, from the Return of the Jedi to Mando, it's been 5 years. So what has he been doing for 5 years? Has he been, like, recovering? And if you think, if he wanted his armor back, why did it take him 5 years? So hopefully they answered that in the Book of Boba Fett, figuring out what took you so long to get that armor. So
Yeah.
it could be some of the flashbacks of when he got out, not how he got out, but when he got out.
Well, and
And-
how did he lose it in the first place? He went into
Right.
the Sarlacc wearing the armor. So what happened to it? And
Mhm.
yeah.
That's a good question.
What's interesting enough, I don't think Boba's armor is full Beskar as the Mandalorian or Din Djarin's is full Beskar. I think his helmet is, but I don't think the rest of it is. It's, that could be something they can answer in the Book of Boba Fett too, because he's not really a Mandalorian, but he just has Mandalorian armor.
Yeah.
Oh, we're going full nerd now.
We are. I love it. Yeah, I texted you and said it's Boba Fett because it was funny because somewhere in the recesses of my brain and parts that I haven't touched and used in a while, it was like, okay, Jango was the one they used the DNA from, and so he looked like the guy who played the clone trooper, and you pieced it all together and went from there. But even Aiden saw him. He's like, "Who's that dude?" And he saw Slave One, and Aiden doesn't really know about Slave One. But as soon as he came out with that armor on, he was like, "Is that really Boba Fett?" I'm like, "Yeah, dude." Whoa, Aiden's a mild Star Wars fan, so even he recognized. He's getting into it more and more and more. But even he recognized the significance of bringing back somebody like Boba Fett, which was really the most underserved character, I think, in the original trilogy.
Yeah. And I didn't really want it to be Boba because, like, Dave and I had the text, like, could it be Rex? Could it be somebody from The Bad Batch, which is an animated series that's coming out here in a couple of years? And I'm like, do they really want to bring back Boba? Because in reality, if you really look at Boba in The Mandalorian Season 2, he only served one purpose, and that was Slave One. He was just their taxi person. He didn't really do much of anything in the later episodes. Whenever it was revealed that it's actually his Boba, he didn't do anything other than pilot the ship. That's all he really did. And then he, 86'd it from the when they fought at the last episode, and now we have this, series coming up. So they really didn't. This was just an introduction of, hey, Boba's back now. Book of Boba Fett. They're going to actually tell a story of him, and hopefully they do him justice.
Yeah, I agree. The other thing too we have to think about, and I don't think we have to get into it too much, is Boba Fett was his only mode of transportation because Mando's ship is gone.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Razor Crest is gone.
The Razor Crest is gone, destroyed.
Yeah, there's a lot of Lego people upset right now that they spent all that money on the Razor Crest Lego set.
So now that Boba Fett's on his own with the Book of Boba Fett, what is Mando going to fly?
Well, season 3's what's he going to fly is a great question. Yeah. But I think go ahead. I'll get into what I was going to say in a minute. Do you have any thoughts on that, BK?
No. Yeah.
Well, he's in that Imperial cruiser at the end of the last episode, episode 8. So you could think in a sense that they're going to, like, the whole crew there, definitely, I'm blanking on her name, Bo-Katan is going to be there. Maybe all the people on this ship, I think they're going to be flying in that ship, going somewhere. But what he's going to be flying, I don't know. I have no idea.
Well, they've got to settle the whole Darksaber Throne of Mandalore thing.
Right.
Yeah. Jump in the ship. You're jumping ahead of the game.
My bad. Sorry, he was talking about episode 8. My bad. I didn't realize I wasn't able to talk about the episode BK was already talking about.
Well, that was the last thing that they were on, so you would think that they would be flying around in that thing,
Hands scope. Mando will fly the Falcon and ruin the show.
That would be if it's not Favreau. If it wasn't Favreau doing this, they would find some way to like tie in a brand new thing that they sell as a toy, but it's not really a great toy.
So you're saying that's how the Falcon ended up on what was this? Whatever the planet was in episode
Jakku.
Jakku, yeah. So that's how, Mando left it there for whatever. Yeah.
That's if Ryan Johnson was in control of it.
Right, exactly. I do have to say, though, one thing that I think Mando's done before we move on to later episodes, I'll go back in time. And one thing that I think that this actually did is because now you have a direct tie into Jango Fett. You have a direct tie into the whole midichlorian account. So you have episode 1 and 2 kind of covered in there. It actually, episodes 1, 2, and 3 are kind of like the redheaded stepchild of Star Wars movies in a way. They're not really great. They're not appreciated. But now they're best friends and tied into Mando. And so it kind of increases their cool factor a little bit because you're like, now you can tell your kids, hey, that thing on Mando, remember that? That's the guy. That's Jango Fett. So it actually gets you through episode 2 with something to look forward to that you can actually connect,
Well, for that, I would go back and tell everybody to watch. It's one of the Star Wars Galaxy Gallery episodes on The Mandalorian Season 1, and Dave Filoni basically breaks down the genius that George had for the trilogy, for the prequels, and how, if you think about it this way, and how George wanted, because he was, him and George are buddies, so they always talk stuff like that. So Dave gets Star Wars because of George, and him explaining, kind of redeeming at least the overall arc of the prequels trilogy. I would recommend people just listen to that, and you have a different respect of that trilogy. But still, I mean, there's Clone Wars. I mean, Attack of the Clones is the worst one in my opinion.
Let's also come back and say no one ever needs to question my love of the prequels. We all know I'm a big Hayden Christensen stan, and I think that he gets the biggest bum rap of everything. Hayden Christensen actually played the part perfectly. It wasn't written well for him. He was. Go back and watch the director's cut. He played the part that he was given, and he played to the director's notes perfectly.
Yes, he took a very flat story and flat dialogue and played it very flatly. You're right. Yes.
Which is what he was paid to do.
He matched. If that was the aim, he executed 100%. Yes.
Fine. Okay. Carrie, I need thoughts on the Ice Spider episode. What did that get us to if we're bringing everything all together? I feel I missed it. I agree, Carrie, because I told you, Adam, I told you, that second episode was the worst episode of The Mandalorian I've ever seen because I was shuddered the entire time.
You just hate spiders.
But here's the thing. That spider is actually a Ralph McQuarrie drawing of the early Star Wars. So Favreau and Filoni took that drawing from him and made it into an actual something in Star Wars. So if you think about it that way, it's cool that they did that. But yeah, that episode, I mean, I hate spiders anyway, so I didn't like it that much anyways.
But I will say this, and Carrie, going back and looking at the overall story in the light that Adam talked about, where it's not just, a story here, a story here, a story there. It's an overarching episode. That episode gave us three things, really. One, it introduced the X-Wings back in the Star Wars universe. When you see those X-Wings going into the planet, you're like, oh my gosh, it's an X-Wing.
Mm-hmm.
But then it also introduced Frog Lady and her eggs.
Yes.
Without Frog Lady and her eggs, we don't get Bo-Katan because they can't get us. If they don't have Frog Lady, they're not going to that planet. They don't run into Bo-Katan. They don't run into Sasha Banks. And we don't get Bo-Katan's help in episode 8.
Go ahead, BK.
Well, and one thing, if I think I'm correctly, the beginning of that episode was such a dad moment for Mando, because isn't that the episode where he's trying to tell the child, hey, put that red wire over there. No, the red one right there. It's a total dad moment. I laughed at that first part. Like, yep, Mando being a dad right there.
Well, the thing I think it wasn't just – go ahead, Dave.
I said the spiders was a turnoff. I could have done without that.
Yeah, but I think the thing about the X-Wings wasn't just the hardware. It was the idea that the New Republic in some places in the galaxy is in charge and is patrolling and trying to figure out what's going on, and almost like the police now. So I think it established, too, that the Empire now is in these other bases in all of these different planets doing this secret stuff now in the background, while the New Republic is in the forefront of actually keeping kind of law and order in a sense, because that's what that same guy was, the one that ended up giving the marshal's badge to Cara Toon. So, I mean, that connected that one a little bit too. So,
yeah. All right. So let's jump forward a little bit. Let's go to episode 5, Ahsoka. I'm just going to say it. Rosario Dawson, the best choice to play Ahsoka.
Yeah, she was the fan favorite. There was a campaign where some graphic artist drew her as Ahsoka and put it out there in the interwebs, and everybody just got traction, and Filoni and Favreau noticed. So that's one of the reasons she'll actually say that's how she got the job, was the fans doing that and really pushing for her to be Ahsoka.
Which is really what killed Last Jedi, is they went in complete and opposite direction than most of the fans wanted them to, and that kind of killed that killed the third trilogy. That nothing was being done the way anyone thought it should. So I think that's neat that they're doing that and giving them a voice. But for me, I've got to know more about what she's doing. I know she's looking for Thrawn, but I got to know more about and I know she's broken away from the Jedi, but just what is going on there.
Yeah.
Like I feel like that's another spinoff. I feel like it's another introduction. And I know that introduced the Rebels, right? Spear and all of that,
No, this is after Rebels.
After
Rebels happened before Episode 4.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So that's one of the reasons that a lot of people are thinking she's out there looking for Thrawn, because Thrawn has Ezra, which was a character in Rebels. So that's
okay.
That's, they're not really, obviously she's looking for Thrawn because you said it. Where's your boss? Where's Admiral Thrawn? But we don't know why she wants Thrawn. What has he got? What has he been doing? So we'll probably find that out.
I don't care. Give me a whole Thrawn show and I'll watch it, man. He's been
okay. So pardon my stupidity, and all the Star Wars gatekeepers are going to kill me on this. I've read the first Thrawn book, and it was boring. It's not one of my favorite Star Wars books. Doesn't Thrawn become good at the end?
I haven't read the books, but one of the Star Wars podcasts that I listen to, they really love those books, and they say he's more of an anti-hero. So think of
Stone Cold.
Stone Cold, yeah. If you want to go the wrestling route, I was trying to think of a movie anti-hero where like they're good, but they do bad things. So that's what they got with Thrawn, is that he's that character. So did he turn good? I don't know. I haven't read the books, but that's what they're hoping for, that he's going to be the anti-hero of Star Wars.
Okay. Carrie says Venom. Think Venom.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Venom.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm excited. And the rumor I've heard, and I don't know how Disney Plus is going to pull this off, but Benedict Cumberbatch to play Thrawn.
I've not heard him, but he would be good. But who they want is the guy who voiced Thrawn in Rebels. He is, I can't think of his name, but his brother.
Does he look like Thrawn? That's the question. I think Benedict
he can. He can. Like, if you look up a picture, I can't remember his name, and I'm blanking on who.
Lars Mikkelsen is his name.
Lars Mikkelsen, who his brother Mads played, is in Marvel Cinematic Universe, and he also played Jin in Rogue One, the dad of Jyn Erso. Yeah. That's his brother. So they look similar. So if you could picture him in your head and just turn him blue, that's who his brother would look like.
I always, whenever I think Thrawn, I don't know why, I think the guy that played Lucius Malfoy in Harry Potter.
I can see that.
The villain in The Patriot, that guy.
Mm-hmm.
He's a little old though right now.
He's actually in the new Star Trek series on CBS All Access, which they've been showing on the regular CBS shows. He's actually the captain of that starship in the Star Trek TV series right now.
Okay. Well, all right. So this is also where we find out that Baby Yoda has a name, Grogu.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Which, by the way, I think we've all heard have I told y'all the story of Harper? So I got both my girls the Baby Yoda Grogu plush for Christmas, and it was hanging in their stocking when they came out of their room to see Christmas, what Santa brought them. But Harper said, "Daddy, it's Grogu." I said, "Yeah." She said, "What's Grogu's last name?" Baby Yoda. Oh, Grogu Baby Yoda. Grogu Baby Yoda. So
that's great.
He refuses to say just Grogu now. It's Grogu Baby Yoda.
That's awesome.
So there you go.
Yeah. So we learned that his new quest is to go to some island or some planet where he sits on top of a pillar and he meditates. Cool.
Reaching out to the Force to call the Jedi. Yes. Basically, it's the 1-800 collect. It's
Grogu
phone home. Yeah. But real quick, I want to talk about the Beskar steel spear here.
Mm-hmm.
There are tons of theories I've seen about that Beskar spear. The one that I subscribe to now. Go back and watch the sequel trilogy. As Phasma is being killed, she is holding a spear that looks like the Beskar spear.
Okay.
So who gets the Beskar spear? What happens to it after Mando? I think that's going to be the new thing we need to start looking at. And that's going to be the new what happens thing.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so Vance and Carrie both say it's Quicksilver, not Beskar.
Yeah, I could see that too, because I don't think it's the same spear. I think because everybody looks at something like, oh, well, she must have killed Mando. Why do people with these theories think that person got killed? But I don't think it's actually the Beskar spear. I mean, it kind of looks similar. Yeah, it's shiny and all that, but I think it's just probably a spear she had that's like made out of her armor. I don't know.
Okay, well,
We'll see.
I want to know where that spear goes, because now we have all these things that have been shoehorned into Star Wars canon, and what happens to them, and why aren't they shown in the trilogy? That's just the way I think.
Well, it could connect too to something Thrawn had done. Thrawn may have had a run in and gave her that because that's her boss, right? So may learn about it in that series.
Well, have you read the Phasma book?
I have.
Did they? I haven't. So she mentioned Thrawn in that book.
I don't think so. It's been a while since I've read it, but
I mean,
no, it's mostly about just her getting off her island and becoming who she is.
Yeah. We'll see.
Vance Cope, Dave wants an answer to everything. Just wait.
Yes.
Vance, you have no idea, buddy.
Just you wait, Dave. Come on.
I don't wait very well. Anyway, so we're moving on. Let's move on to the episode. I guess the very next episode is episode 6, where
7.
Grogu does 6.
7.
5 was Ahsoka. 6 is where he calls 1-800 Call a Jedi.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah.
We just talked that one.
Well, no, we haven't. That's when we find out it was Boba Fett.
Yeah, we've
Right.
talked that whole thing.
Okay. I want to know, how much did your Star Wars geekdom geek out when you saw Slave One?
Oh, I mean, it's instantly recognizable. I mean, I think, though, I appreciate it. And it's like, oh, my gosh, I'm going to talk about this again later with another reveal. I think that they could have hung on to the who is that a little bit longer. Because once you saw the ship, I mean, it's kind of a giveaway.
Which geek out moment was better, episode 6 or episode 8?
8 was better.
8 was better, yeah. But with 6, though, you also was introduced to the Dark Troopers, which ties into the video games, Jedi Academy and all of those, which I thought was very cool. But it was interesting how, Grogu, he's been meditating on that rock, and then he passes out, and the Dark Troopers really just kidnap him, and almost like, oh, cool, there's the Dark Troopers. Mando's going to get his butt kicked. No, they just went down, swooped, and came back up. So it's like, oh, that's it. That's all we get to see. But I thought that was really cool when they finally introduced the Dark Troopers. So,
which had a very you think about some of the concept art for Darth Vader, the way that their mask was designed look a lot like those early drawings of that too. I thought they looked pretty cool. So
yeah. By the way, for those that are keeping score, Bama's up by 40 on a top 30 LSU team.
Awesome. They are the Dark Troopers and LSU is Mando.
Exactly.
that didn't end well for the Dark Troopers.
Yeah, we're running close, so we've got to fast forward. This is just an overview.
We're not going to have any time for WandaVision, and I want to talk about that crap.
That's why it is crap. So that's why we.
Can I mention one thing though about the next episode? The next episode where Mando, like, it starts out with they're going to go and whatever they have to do in that base, the Empire base, but they teased it to where like he's going to have to take off his Beskar and put on this Imperial armor, and we kind of see in the fight how crappy that armor is, but you saw how dedicated he was to save Grogu when he took his helmet off, exposed his face, which is against his Mandalorian beliefs to save Grogu and, risk, basically, throwing away his beliefs for that kid. You saw how dedicated he was to Grogu to do that and how much it hurt him to do that, but he had to save Grogu no matter the cost. So I thought that episode was really good for that. And then Bill Burr with his Boston accent was great, and then calling Mando Brown Eyes, which was really funny.
So was it after episode 7 or episode 6 where he was able to hollow into Moff Gideon's ship and basically say, "You've got my kid. I'm coming for you, mother."
Was it?
I thought so.
Maybe it was, because they one of the things they were going to there in episode 7 was to find the coordinates to Moff Gideon's Imperial cruiser. Yeah. So it probably was. It was 7.
Okay, but to me, that was the moment I knew that episode 8 was going to be the best episode of Star Wars TV I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Possibly, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So Vance Cope says the Empire needs better PC security if any random face can access the system.
True. Yeah, he's got a point there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's totally funny. They say with the way technology is today, we've got screens on everything. Some of those screens look a little old, and it feels like a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. Yeah. So maybe they do need to upgrade.
Yeah. Did that on purpose. The other thing I want to talk about before we get in there's two things. We find out one in episode 6, I think it was. Was it 6? That might have been even episode 4. Why they're going after Grogu. It's because they want his blood.
It's 4.
Okay, yeah. They want his blood to clone Force users. I think this is where we see that they're setting that foundation for Snoke.
Snoke and Palpatine.
Yeah, I think they're trying to clone Palpatine, right?
Well, I think they're both related. I mean, when you go down in Rise of Skywalker and they're at that destroyed Death Star location where they finally confront the Emperor, you walk past basically a big container of Snokes that are all floating in there. I think that Snoke was the test to see if they could do it, and once they perfected it, they moved on to Palpatine. And what keyed me into that was when they actually said the term, "You'll be rewarded well in the new era." Like, it was obvious that there was a next chapter of the Empire they were trying to create, and the only way you do that's with Palpatine.
Yeah, so, and the Doctor is actually from Kamino, which was the clone planet. He has if you look at the pen that he has, it's from Kamino in episode 2. So he's a cloner. So it kind of ties it all in that they're trying to clone something to where they have the Force. So you think, it's for the Emperor.
And that's what I thought was. No, go ahead, Dan.
That also brings the question: do they know that Palpatine isn't dead?
I think honestly, if you're trying to keep it under wraps that Palpatine is alive, you would probably not tell them the reason that they're doing it. They're so loyal. I mean, we saw in episode 7 how loyal the Empire, some of the Empire people are. So these people they're doing are so loyal to the Empire, they don't even care what they're doing. They have tasks, they do it, they don't care. So they probably don't. I would even be surprised if Moff Gideon knows that the Emperor is still alive, and he was basically the one running that whole operation.
Yeah, I think you could at the same time argue that Gideon does know, and none of his subordinates know, and that's why he's going after it the way he is.
True.
Is because basically that recorded message that you never hear, which I wish you would have, but at the beginning of Rise of Skywalker, you never hear it. All of that was planned and recorded and was in place, and you wonder if that stored consciousness that they had wasn't already telling Gideon what to do behind the scenes. But one thing that I think it's fascinating is that Anakin with a high M count became Darth Vader, and now Grogu with a high M count was the donor that gave life to the program that brought back Palpatine. So Star Wars has kind of set up this parallel where the little innocent children type characters that have come out of it ended up giving rise to some of the worst villains in the end. It's a parallel to Anakin, But
so now we've got to get into the actual episode.
Yeah,
the episode.
Yeah.
Let's just do it. When we see the X-wing fly onto the ship, at that moment, did you know it was Luke?
The X-wing didn't give it away for me because they had already introduced X-wings.
Right.
But what gave it away for me was it could have, in theory, been Ahsoka at that point. And she had also lost her lightsaber in that battle. It went in the water. Maybe she couldn't get it back. So when you see a cloaked person with one lightsaber, it could, in theory, be Ahsoka coming back and all of that. But as soon as they cut to the gloved hand and the green lights, it's like, oh, it couldn't possibly be anybody else.
So I will go into my BK's text conversation after episode 7. I had told you, Brian, it was going to be 2 Jedis, Luke or Mace. And I was hoping it was Mace, just because I think we'll see Mace later. I think it's probably going to be the Book of Mandalore, because I know that or Book of Boba Fett. I'm sorry. I know that Boba Fett wants Mace dead because he killed Jango. But as soon as I saw the X-wing, I knew it wasn't Mace, because that's not what Mace flies.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And as soon as I saw that X-wing, I was like, okay, it's Luke. But and then Brian, I think you said it could have been Ezra.
No, I was thinking it could be Kyle Katarn from the video game Dark Forces. But here's the thing. When I saw it, I'm like, there's just one X-wing. And even Cara Dune comments like, just one X-wing? I'm like, I don't think this is Kyle Katarn. I don't think they introduced it, because who would just fly up into one X-wing? You know, they have like, you know, especially, you know, that big cruiser thing. And they did a really good job where they didn't really focus too much on the X-wing. And then you see in black and white, as you're looking at the monitors, this, you know, cloaked figure. And, you know, I knew it wasn't Ahsoka because she already said that she couldn't train Grogu because of the attachment. She didn't want to. But I was thinking, okay, like, who else could it be if it's not Luke, or hopefully it's, you know, they introduce a new character. But yeah, when I saw, not really the gloved hand, but when I saw the hilt of his lightsaber, I immediately recognized, okay, that's got to be Luke. And then of course they go into the color shot and it's green. It's like, okay, it's Luke. It's totally Luke.
Yeah. So let's also talk about, and I don't know if you've thought about this, Adam, because you just digested it. The imagery, the exact same movement that Luke used in that scene that was in the Darth Vader scene in Rogue One.
Oh yeah, no, it was the Rogue One hallway.
Same. Yeah,
and the fog and everything. Yeah,
and then he also did the behind the back thing that Anakin did in was that what movie was that? Which one was it?
Well, it has to be 2 or 3. Yeah.
It was 3, I think. It was before he turned bad in 3.
Yeah.
So, but it's the exact same movement. He's finally using both sides of the Force that we truly haven't seen.
Sure.
Luke use.
Is he? I mean, he's definitely grown as a Jedi. He's obviously
he was using some of the dark side, but was using it in
he could channel it without letting it take him over at this point. You know, he'd learned more than he had learned in the Emperor's throne room about, you know, I'll never join you, you know, that kind of thing. And then now all of a sudden he's able to do that. But I mean, it was literally, you're right. I mean, when you see that, it's like, wow, Luke's pulling off his dad's stuff now. You know?
Yeah.
Well,
this is
also grown up too.
Yeah. This is truly the first time, I'm going to argue, the first time we've ever seen Jedi Knight Luke Skywalker.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I agree.
On any screen. Sure. And to see it, I'm not going to lie, I nerded out. I jumped up out of my seat.
Mm-hmm. I did too.
Carrie can attest. I was watching it. Carrie was watching it with me. And no words.
So when I was actually sitting on my couch, when I saw that one X-wing fly by, I immediately got up and I'm at my TV like this. Oh my God, who is this? Please don't be Luke. I don't want to be Luke, but I kind of want it to be Luke, that kind of thing. I was standing, and then when I saw, like I said, I saw the hilt, I'm like, oh my God, it's Luke. This is that kind of thing.
When it went to that green lightsaber, I went, oh!
Yeah.
The other thing, and I want to ask you, and I want you to be honest. Did you shed a tear?
Oh, yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Blair did at the end. Blair did at the end, though.
Mm-hmm. That definitely at the end.
Cried like a baby.
Mhm.
Watching
How could you not?
Titanic wrapped into the death scene of Philip and Hamilton. I mean, she was over there like.
Blair probably cried for a different reason I did.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Blair was the whole like, oh, baby Grogu, he's so cute. And there he goes, you know.
Yeah.
But you were like, oh my gosh, I love my life. And then I love Star Wars. What a time to be alive.
No, I can tell you why I cried. It's probably the same reason Dave did. Because here's the thing, and think about it this way. I'm an 80s kid, born in 78. I remember most of the 80s for the good reasons, not because I was on drugs or anything, but Star Wars was a big part for me as a kid. So to see Luke come back like that as an adult, myself as an adult, it took me back to the time when I was sitting in my house in Jasper watching a VHS recorded off of Channel 13 and from Birmingham, watching Empire Strikes Back and seeing Luke. You know, it brought me immediately back to my childhood. And it's just like that whole feeling you get when you see movies as a kid. That's how I felt when I saw when Luke, you know, cut through all those dark troopers and when he was revealed after they, let him in, that kind of thing. And he flipped down his cloak. It was it. I mean, it's like immediately brought me back to my childhood.
Sure. That was the big part. But what really set me over the edge was when R2-D2 rolled in.
That too. Mm-hmm. Yep.
I was like, I'm complete. It's complete now. And then Grogu walks up and touches R2-D2 and he beeps and looks at Luke and he's thinking, not this again.
Now I was thinking.
Go ahead.
I was thinking when R2-D2 started to beep, it's almost like he was comforting Grogu, because R2-D2 could probably sense that this little guy doesn't want to leave his dad, so I'm just going to hop around and make it all hunky dory for him and make you feel, hey, it's okay, you're gonna be okay, that kind of thing. And then for some reason, I don't know why I thought this, I was expecting R2-D2 to like extract an arm and pick up Grogu and put him inside just to protect him. I don't know if I wanted to make sure Grogu was going to be protected or something, but when he was hopping around, that's what I thought, that he was just making Grogu feel like, hey, it's okay, bud, we're going to be cool, that kind of thing.
Yeah. I think for me, I didn't shed a tear, but it did mean a lot as a Star Wars fan, because we've been through a lot since high school with the prequel trilogy and Solo, several things that just didn't really pan out. And for this to go total complete story arc in 2 seasons where you just feel satisfied. That I think is what I enjoyed most, except for the fact that what I needed at the end is I needed Mando to pull out the ball. Yeah. And as Luke was walking away, I needed him to pull it to himself. I needed that really badly, and they didn't give it to me.
Well, the thing with the ball, I think the reason they didn't do that, because you're probably going to see it in season 3, where you're going to see Mando sitting around. He's going to take out that ball, and that's going to be like, oh, he's thinking about Grogu when he looks at that. So I think that's why he kept, or they made sure he kept that ball, the little ball from the Razor Crest.
Sure.
Yeah, man, just the best Star Wars ever.
I have to ask, not to put a film over this, but the CGI of Luke on a scale of 1 to 10.
6, 7.
I say 7. Yeah.
I mean, it's the same CGI that used in the last movie
for Leia and Tarkin. I mean, it was the same one, because his face looked totally like him, but the mouth was off with the words and stuff. It just didn't really go all the way. Yeah. But I think the problem with it was they had so many practical effects for so long. I almost feel like it's almost like Clark Kent's mustache, or whatever, Henry Cavill's mustache in Justice League. You can't take your eyes off of it, and it's almost like you couldn't take your eye. I would have almost rather they just go ahead and get the guy who played Bucky Barnes to come in and be Luke and start it now, and just go ahead and rip the Band-Aid off and say, this is Luke going forward. Get used to it and just go ahead and do it now. But I get why they didn't.
Right. They did it because they don't want to have people demand for a Luke Skywalker television series. Yeah. Because they don't want to do that. They want to leave Luke in the movies and just bring him in, or
we're going to have to see Luke. We're going to have to see him, because we have to, as Vance Cope says, we have to see why Grogu gets killed by Kylo.
He doesn't get killed by Kylo.
Yes, he does. That is my theory.
Okay. All right. I don't want to mean to extend this episode any longer because I know we
Too
want to
late.
get WandaVision. But here's the thing about Grogu: the podcast that I mentioned that I listened to about Star Wars, they brought up this point. Disney making so much money off of the Baby Yoda, Grogu the child. If they were to say, "Oh yeah, well he dies in Luke's Jedi Temple," Ben Solo in his rage kills everybody with the helps of the Knights of Ren, you're never going to say that because here's the thing: he's the new face of Star Wars. Grogu's the new mascot, so it's almost like if they were to say he got killed, it's like if whoever the CEO is now, or Bob Iger took Mickey Mouse in front of Sleeping Beauty's castle and just kill it. Because it's like you're killing a mascot. You're never going to.
There are people that have said he has done that.
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying it's like that. You know, kind of like that.
It's almost like if you took a classic character like Mickey Mouse and made him in weird animation styles. Oh, wait.
Huh.
They already did that. But you get what I'm saying. Like they would never do that because it's just too much money to say like, oh yeah, here you go, little Billy. Oh, by the way, this dude dies. Like you would
Now
never
with detachable head, it's not
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's almost like if they take a beloved ride from Hollywood Studios and shoehorn a Mickey Mouse ride in it.
Hey, I like Runaway Railway.
I do too. I'm just kidding. I love that. That had to be funny there for a second.
I hate to say it, R.I.P. great movie ride, but that is an upgrade. I'm sorry.
It is. So there's my theory. I do think that Kylo, that this is how that Luke loves Grogu, and what puts Luke over that edge.
Yeah,
is Ben has to do something that is just so heinous.
Okay, so I get your point, but here's the thing: don't you think that the bigger thing is not because he killed Grogu, it's because he basically failed his nephew at a dark moment. He was going to kill his own nephew. If you remember that flashback scene, he was going to kill his own nephew, and he goes off because he failed. And even I think when Yoda reappears later in that movie, he actually says, we all fail or something like that. Mm-hmm. Luke left because he failed not only his nephew, but he also failed Leia, his sister, and Han, his best friend.
Well, what is the biggest failure of all time is if his Padawan kills Luke's mentor's son.
His mentor's son.
What?
I still think that Grogu is Yoda's kid.
Oh no, he's not.
Yoda and Yaddle.
No. If they ever say that, I would quit Star Wars. I'd be like, nope.
So here we go. That's where he draws the line.
This is it. I'm going to end this.
Hang on, they have to explain it somehow because he was not in Force Awakens, Last Jedi, or Rise. Of course, he couldn't exist in the Star Wars universe in anybody's brain until Mandalorian. They have to explain it somehow, though.
I think, honestly, he goes back to Mando. He goes back to Din Djarin at some point, but we'll probably never get to that. Maybe in a book, maybe in a comic book, they might explain that, but I don't think they'll ever do that in the Mandalorian television series.
So, real quick before we end this, episode 5, when Ahsoka is talking about Yoda, did you notice when Grogu looks up at her and she knowingly shakes her head no? And Grogu looks down. That is, honestly, dude, this is her saying he's gone.
No. He looked up at her, and through their little mental whisper, she said, "The test proved that he is not the father." And
exactly. That's what I was about to say.
I'm not saying that he's the kid, but I'm saying that it somehow Grogu knew about Yoda.
Well, yeah, he knew about Yoda, I'm sure.
And that was him asking, is he alive still? And her saying no, and him looking longingly saying, okay, I understand.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can see that. Yeah, but not that he's the father of Grogu. No.
I am your father.
We have another one of those.
The father I am.
Got it on, I did.
Me and Yaddle.
WandaVision we will talk about now.
Yes. All right.
No. Question of Virgil has, we must.
Okay.
Oh, shoot.
I don't
get it. You got to give me prep time, man. Hang on.
Question Virgil has.
Or your own choices you will make.
Answer we must.
Play it, I will. Here we go.
Go me here.
I have a question for this week. This person has invented more than 800 iconic toys. A short list of some of the toys include the bubble gun, the chattering teeth, the Derringer hat, the game Kerplunk, and Stomper cars. He was born September 25th, 1921. He is currently 99.
Oh, sorry. I'll play back. He's 99. What's his name? You'll never guess it in a million years.
Well, I was actually going to say Walt Disney, but since he said he's still alive.
Oh, the Google machine has betrayed us.
Dave, you cheat.
There's no way you just guessed Eddie Goldfarb. But
Goldfarb.
Yes, Eddie Goldfarb.
Okay.
Goldfarb. Aging Mr. Goldfarb.
So we also have Carrie asked the question. How long do we see the show story running? I know Dave needs answers now, but how long do they draw out some of our questions?
5 seasons. I see it 5 seasons. Maybe
Yeah,
3 to 4 more seasons.
if you start bolting on, it's going to feel forced, almost where I think Stranger Things has started to go a little bit.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
I agree. I was actually okay with the Book of Fett being season 3 of Mandalorian because
they left. Go ahead, Adam. Sorry.
I was going to say, I got to know about the Darksaber Mandalorian throne thing.
Yeah, and that's what I was saying. They left that too much of a cliffhanger to just say, okay, here's the new story of Mandalorian. It would be like, wait a minute.
Yeah. I can't imagine, though, the very first episode of season 3, they're all staring off into the distance and no one say, they're all standing there getting their final shot. And then season 3 starts and they turn around and be like, so do we engage in combat now? Or how do you want to do this?
that's what Boba Fett's like. I don't need it.
Peace.
All right. Here you go. I yield.
Punch me.
All
Just
right.
punch me one time. Boom.
Yeah,
All right. There.
right here. All right, so WandaVision. I'm out because
Dude.
I'm out. I'm washing my hands. You two talk.
Wow.
All right. I have a rant focused at Dave on WandaVision. Brian, BK, what did you think? I think that there's enough of a backstory there where it makes sense if you do just a little bit of digging if you don't know. But it is so different, a different method of storytelling for me. That's why I'm sold for 2 reasons. A is how different it is, and B, Marvel always keeps its promises.
Mm-hmm.
I know this is going somewhere, and I know it will make sense, so I'm willing to be confused for a while.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like they're putting in a mystery because just like, we've been talking, Dave and I have been talking, like, how is Vision still alive? What is this world that she's in? Is she captured? Is this all in her head? We don't know. And that's what the whole season is, like 10 episodes. The whole 10 episodes, we're going to figure it out. Why did Wanda end up like in this situation? And we already got a little hints that she's being watched by this organization called SWORD. But we don't know if she did this to herself because of grief from losing Vision, and she's kind of just created her own world, or did she get captured by, I don't think it's SWORD. I think it's just like maybe another, or, maybe a new of Hydra. They captured Wanda because she's their project, or, their science project. And they're trying to maybe extract her powers, or I don't know. That's what we're all going to figure out. Episodes.
So the one thing I have read is if you watch an episode 2, they walk out and see this person coming out of the manhole. She says no, and then they go back to where they rewind. Basically, it's Hamilton's rewind, where she's pregnant. So she's creating this reality somehow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that SWORD is trying to figure out, like they can see inside of her head and they're trying to figure it out. And that guy actually found a way to break in. Like he found a way in, and she's like, no, you're not coming into this reality I've created, and backs it up, So yeah, it's for me, the commercials, I think, are one of the coolest things. I did not expect that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Go ahead, Dave. I thought you were washing your hands of this.
Yeah, go ahead, Dave. Go ahead.
Did you see the Screen Rants thing that I sent you?
Mhm.
Obviously, Adam didn't because I sent it to him too.
When did you send it? I did see
right-
it, yes.
Right before our show. There is a theory out there that the two spokespersons we see are Wanda's parents,
Mhm.
which I can subscribe to because it's
Mhm.
actually, except Scarlet Witch's dad is supposed to be Magneto in the comments.
Yeah, but they separated X-Men to the current Marvel Cinematic Universe when they put Quicksilver in Age of Ultron, and they also had him in the X-Men movies. So you could say it's a different world. So his dad is not going to be Magneto, and that would make, I don't know, Wanda, Magneto's daughter. But I can get on the fact that, if you look at the commercials and what they're about, the first one is about Stark Industries Stark 2000 toaster, and it has a little flashing light at the bottom of it. And that article that you sent me, Dave, it says that represents when they were kids and Sokovia got bombed, and they're sitting there watching a Stark Industries missile, hoping that it never goes off. So that kind of harkens back to that. And then the second one is the watch. If you look at it, it's called Stroger or whatever the name of the Hydra scientist that created them. And you can even see, I didn't connect the name, but I did see the Hydra logo on the watch. So I'm like, okay, well, this is probably when she was with Hydra. And, I can kind of see that being her parents, that, she's connecting her past experiences with those commercials.
It's like every commercial's going to be the retelling of her life up until the point that she was at when she went into this, right? Because even the red helicopter with the sword logo on it, it's like everything that has color is a little too real. Like the bomb, the helicopter may have been what rescued her out of there from the bomb. I mean, who knows, right? Because sword got them at some point.
But the helicopter, the toy helicopter, is also the same color as Iron Man's armor.
Yes,
that was an article that I read about, why it's in colors, because maybe she's thinking about Tony and his, Iron Man armor in that episode. So it's just kind of funny if they keep it going, or if like the next, episode 3 this Friday, they're not even in there anymore. So now they just throw us off the scent about that being Wanda's parents in the commercial. So it'll be interesting to see what they.
I think episode 3 will also be in color too.
Well, there are some that way. Yeah.
So by the way, Vasco corrects me. Magneto is no longer Wanda's dad in the comments. That's been retconned out in the books.
Okay.
So there we go.
Yeah, but it'll be interesting in episode 3. It will be in color because you remember then in episode 2, they kind of just color just started to wash over them. So yeah, you're right, Dave. The next episode should be in color. Probably what would be in a 70s sitcom, I think, with this one, because I think they did the 50s in episode 1 and then the kind of like the 60s in episode 2.
Yeah. So are we going to see 70s, 80s, and then 90s and 2000s? But then what do? Is that once they hit 2000s, then are they going to say, okay, now we're in real time? I mean, is that how it's going to go?
Could.
Possibly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because if you look at the trailers of all the episodes, they actually do get back into the real world, because we see the guy who is coming out of the radio, and I can't remember if it's episode 1 or 2, that's one of the FBI agents that was in Ant-Man. I can't remember his name, Ant-Man and the Wasp. That's his voice. So that's his character, the guy who plays him. That's his voice coming out there. So obviously I don't know if he's a part of SWORD or if he's, just trying to get a hold of Wanda because she's trapped in her own reality or whatever that is. So.
Yeah.
So you're going to watch episode 3 now, Dave?
Oh, I'll watch it. I will definitely watch it. Vance says, yeah, I think so. After the 90s, I think we go back to real life. Okay. So he also says episode 3 is the 70s, Brady Bunch.
Brady Bunch, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to watch it because I'm a Marvel guy. I think that I'm going to I'll follow it. But I needed a little bit more backstory knowledge. Like, with the movies, I didn't know anything about Guardians of the Galaxy until I really watched the movies. But there was enough about them that I could go in and really figure out what was going on watching the movies.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't figure figure out anything what was going on because there was nothing to figure out.
Yeah.
And that's
and how great is it though that they're stretching this out and releasing one a week where you have to wait. You can't binge it. Like you have to. I think it's fantastic. I love it.
I hate it.
This is why Marvel will always be superior to DC. DC just tries to make a normal movie like it. It's Superman already. You know, Marvel's doing all of this different stuff, man. It's why they're far superior and will continue.
Yeah, and they've set the tone and they have this a pattern, or I don't know if I can think of the word I'm thinking of, but they set it to where they tie everything in, and WandaVision is supposed to tie in the new Doctor Strange movie that's coming out, I think, like a couple of years. Her character is in that movie, so we're gonna figure out like the multiverse. So I think this is kind of like Wanda's own multiverse that we're in right now, because she's supposed to be the most powerful Avenger, because if you watch Endgame, she could have totally ripped Thanos in half. She was about to, until he turned on his ship and they started bombing. So that's why I think you're going to see the power of Scarlet Witch, of Wanda Maximoff, how powerful she is, and then by the end of the last episode, it's going to lead into whatever the Doctor Strange movie, or how they're going to go forward with like the multiverse and lead into Doctor Strange, and he'll explain everything, I'm sure, in that movie, or try to at least.
It's just too much hold on and wait for me.
Patience, young
well,
Padawan.
I mean,
person.
that the beekeeper, I was reading something, I pulled it back up here, said that the beekeeper may be part of AIM, which was the research and development arm of Hydra, which is a connection to the Shang-Chi movie that they announced. So there's even connections like that too. What's that?
AOL Instant Messenger?
AIM.
You've got mail from Hydra.
Yeah. Van Scope, as a binger, I thought I would hate the weekly release, but The Mandalorian has swayed me back, and now I like the anticipation of getting to talk to others like we used to do. And
I mean,
if my friends would watch it every week like I want them to, and where we could talk about it every week like we should, I would really enjoy that. But only a third of my friends watch it every week.
I think that's a rip at you, Adam. Yeah, that's a rip at you, Adam.
I'm sorry, what? Oh, was it? I thought maybe you would say you're very appreciative of the fact that you at least have a couple of friends that'll watch it in real time with you, but evidently you guys aren't good enough.
Yeah,
I'm just
well, the only person to have a podcast with, to talk about pop culture stuff.
The guy who just said, "I hate this waiting and seeing stuff." I made you wait 4 months.
Exactly, you're killing me, Smalls.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, all right. So we've been going for this is a long show, BK.
Sorry, I got a lot to say.
Chris Seagraves, you have friends. Seagraves, got it. Go away! Don't be on my screen anymore.
But hey, to kind of wrap this up, I mean, it's going to be a good time jumping back into the Marvel universe, because after WandaVision is Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and then we get to finally see the Black Widow movie, and then Loki comes at some later in the day. So it's almost like when we stop at Star Wars, like this is the genius of Disney. Stop at Star Wars. So what are we going to do now? Oh, there's a Marvel show on there. I love those movies. Let's just keep our subscription going. So they're piping out content for us to watch, and then I'm excited every Friday to watch an episode of WandaVision, and then whatever else is next. It's a great thing to be part of, and never really thought ever that Disney would do something like this. So it's a good time to be a nerd, basically.
It has never been easier to be a nerd, and it's never been a better time to be a nerd.
Mm-hmm.
So nerds.
Can I ask you guys this though? Can we close with a question?
Okay.
So there's Disney Plus and all of these other streaming services, Netflix and all of this. Now there's Discovery Plus. Is it getting to the point where is there ever really going to be enough people, just real quick conversation, is there ever going to be enough people to completely cut the cord to make this streaming thing viable for other than Disney? I know Disney can continue to create content, But I see Discovery, they're doing things with Food Network, for example, where Restaurant Impossible, they'll only launch new episodes on Discovery Plus. You can't see it on Food Network. So will a cable network have success in that arena? Or will only the original content creators like Netflix and Disney have success in that? Will people just say, you know what, if I've got to pay extra money to see new episodes of Restaurant Impossible, I'm just not paying it. I just won't watch it. Or will people pay for that? What do you guys think? Are we reaching critical mass with how many $5.99 a month charges can hit our bank accounts?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Totally.
definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 100%.
Which means people are going to get tired of it, and then it will come where now there's a streaming thing that consolidates everything, which is now the new cable company. It'll just be fascinating to see how all of this goes. But that, and can we stop calling everything Plus?
Yes.
Right.
Walmart Plus, Apple TV Plus. Anyway.
Yeah, well, it's the addition to their service. That's why they call it a plus.
It's additional charge, yeah.
Yeah, additional charge, exactly. Yeah, I mean, like honestly, I just have Disney Plus. I don't do the Hulu and the ESPN Plus. That's when you start getting into you're paying basically the same thing you're paying with your cable or satellite provider. If you add it all up, like I have Disney, I have Netflix, and Spotify. And I don't want to go any further because it just keeps adding on to the charges. But I can see it happening. Then there'll be a revolt, and it'll be like, I'm tired of paying for this. Hey, let's go back to regular TV. Who knows what's going to happen?
Well, I mean, we pay for Hulu, and by the time you add on cloud DVR and all the other little things, this channel pack and that channel, it ends up being more. You're just not paying the equipment fees. Right.
Well,
really.
Yeah, because that's what I do for cable TV up here. We have a Spectrum, and I have an Apple TV box, but that's just basically to put the Spectrum app on and be able to do 4K TV. So cable companies are starting to do that. They're not giving you the box or the satellite. Even DirecTV's doing it with the streaming service. They're selling the streaming service more than they are the regular have a guy come out there, hook up the satellite, and off you go kind of thing. So they're starting to get to where like eventually it's just going to be an app on our TV, and we could go to, okay, well, here's Netflix. Well, wait, the Spectrum app ties in Netflix, so which app do I go to? That kind of thing. I think that's going to start.
Yeah, exactly. That's what bothers me with Discovery Plus and all those other ones is I have to go to your app now and consciously look for something. Whereas with a Hulu or your Spectrum box, I'm recording it on my DVR. I pull it up, it's there. I don't have to go to 15 different places to pull up the things that I. So it'll just be. I just wanted you guys' thoughts. So thank you, BK.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah. See, this is why we had BK on. He's full of good thoughts.
I'm smart.
He's a smarty. If there are people out there that have other thoughts, Adam, how would they share them with us?
Excuse me while I dribble water down my face. They can call 650-UAB show. Spell it out on your keypad. You'll hear a brief message followed by a beep. Beep. Thank you, Dave. And then leave us a message. We'll play it on the show. Every time we get one, we play it. Sometimes in real time, like was that last week? We got some in real time. Yeah. So even if you're just listening to the show and you don't want to type out the whole comment, leave a voicemail. We'll probably try to find a way to splice it in. But 650-UAB show. Or you can hit us up on socials, Dave. How do they do that?
You can hit us on the Twitters at Not Related Bros. I am at DAdams419. He doesn't have one. You can also find us on Facebook. Just search for Unrelated at Birth. BK's laughing at me.
I don't have a Twitter because every time I commented on something, BK would say, some people just like to see the world burn.
or to give you the Tony Stark eye roll. I love doing that. That was great.
That's not why, but please continue, Dave.
Yes. Anyway, okay. Also, Facebook fan group. Just search for the Unrelated at Birth listener group. We are there. Instagram, DAdams419, Run Tide Run, Unrelated at Birth. Also, if you are so inclined, www.patreon.com/unrelated at birth. All that fun stuff, $5 a month for the Patreon, only goes back towards the show, puts right back into the pockets of the show, not to grease the pockets of Adam or myself, not even BK. BK, if people want to follow you on Twitter for good Alabama and video games content, how would they do that?
My Twitter is Dreadnought78. That's my gamer tag, actually, for Xbox. So, that's Allie, you can get hold of me on Twitter, but also just, I try to be on the Unrelated at Birth Facebook page as well as much as I can. I really don't like doing Facebook that much, but you can also get me on there too. You probably see me comment on how stupid Dave is sometimes, but hey, that's just life, it's life.
Hey, let's end the show on a soapbox.
Love you, buddy.
Yeah, BK.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, the show on a soapbox? You mean a rant?
Well, no, I'm going to say something. Tomorrow is a big day in our country's history.
It's Wednesday.
Tomorrow is Inauguration Day. There's going to be a lot of people trying to be divisive and trying to say things that aren't great. Let's look past that. Let's look at a world of purple and not a world of red and blue. Let's look at a world of people working together to make this country, I know this is a divisive statement, but I hate to say it, make the country great. Let's put away the past and look towards the future, because only when you can put away the past and work towards the future can you do something and make something great. I'm going to quote the first great Republican: "A house divided upon itself cannot stand." And right now our house is divided upon itself. So we need to be like the Beatles and come together right now. Over me. Anyway, and with that, I will end it with my quotes of the week. You ready for this?
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
When we were talking streaming services, were you like, oh, crap, I don't have a quote, and you were looking it up?
I actually had a couple of them.
Okay, good. Because you were awfully quiet. Go ahead.
Yep. As Leia said, never be afraid of who you are. Also, and I've lost my spot. Also,
oh, great quote. Great one.
Yeah, it really is.
Spot? Yeah. Mm-hmm.
As Luke said, I lost my spot.
No. That's how we're going to win. Not fighting what we hate, saving what we love. And that was Rose. And then also, Sherry gave me a perfect way for me to end the show. Treat others the way Chick-fil-A treats you. Adam, take them home.
Well, thank you, everybody. It's been our pleasure to provide this podcast today. Does that work? You say it's my pleasure, right? Our pleasure. So thank you, everybody, for giving us some time again. Thoroughly enjoyed geeking out with you guys about Mando and WandaVision. This was a good one. So thank you again, everybody. Tomorrow and every other day, be kind to one another. Stay safe out there. Mask up. Do all the things you know you should do. But most of all, be kind to one another, guys, because we love you, but not as much as Jesus does. And we will catch you all next week.
Au revoir.
Bye.
Au revoir, mon ami.
Anyway.
So can I give a quick update?
Yeah.
Just so everybody knows, I'm trying this thing they talk about drinking a gallon of water a day.
How much have you peed today?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to go into that on the show.
I try to drink about 5 of them a day.
With ice or without ice?
Without ice. And this is a 32-ounce Yeti.
I try to drink about 1 of these a day. It's bigger than my head. Not many things in the world are.
Fanscope. Anybody else get weird petty out when another fast food place says my pleasure? Yes.
What?
When someone else tells me my pleasure.
Weirded out.
Yeah, weirded out. When someone else says my pleasure, I'm like, wait a tick. You're not CFA.
You can only say my pleasure if at some point in the year you serve me a peach milkshake.
The peach milkshake is just okay.
Peppermint milkshake? The chocolate peppermint? Yes. You know how many calories are in one of those things?
Yes, I do. How do you think I got this?
The pizza chicks only outperform. Oh wait, it was just Christmas.
So wait, do they know you by name, Dave? Every time you walk up to Chick-fil-A?
Sometimes you wanna go.
My cousin's wife is the manager at our Chick-fil-A, so yes.
Oh, so you got the hookup.
You people in the South, man. My cousin's wife.
I'm not gonna lie. So they've started doing Chick-fil-A delivery here in Huntsville, and we order from that delivery from that Chick-fil-A, and we ordered for lunch, and I was getting Harper's out of the bag, and my and Callie had written on the bag, "Aunt Callie loves you, Harper." So I was like,
"Hey, look,
crap.
No. You want to show me you love me? Put extra fries in the bag. Don't write. Show me the taters." That's
well, Harper doesn't even get fries. Harper gets the fruit cup.
Oh, very responsible. See, you guys are responsible. I love
it.
Yeah,
because Dave gets all the fries. That's what it is. He eats all the fries. That's the plan. Who cares about his child nutrition? I just want more fries. That's all.
Here's a hack.
Yeah.
Ask for a salad container. Get the nuggets. Pour the fries and the nuggets and the buffalo sauce in the salad container. Shake it all up. Ooh.
Call it potato salad.
Yeah. They call me tater salad. You ain't live.
Our local Chick-fil-A here started delivery too, and they don't come out to our house. We're like 8 minutes from the place, but they drew a circle around it and said, "Oh, this is the radius and all that." So the guy who runs it goes to our church, and I was like, "Dude, seriously?" He's like, "Well, we don't have enough drivers and all that. We're working on it though. It's been a long time." And you open up your app, and whenever you get a treat from Chick-fil-A, you're like, "Oh, free stuff, awesome!" It was free delivery. You don't deliver to my house. I want the money. Come on, man.
So, do you guys not do DoorDash, or is that the only way you can get Chick-fil-A at your house? Okay, all right. So you're saying Chick-fil-A is actually doing their own delivery where they don't charge a delivery fee, or they do charge a delivery fee?
They do, but it's not as much as DoorDash. So it's Chick-fil-A.
Oh, okay.
Place. Hey, y'all want to see my new things that actually Carrie got me this week?
All right.
Oh, nice. What's was that the stapler in Jell-O?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And hold up, there's more.
Michael. Nice. They need a variant of that one with an Asian gem.
Yeah. And then here's the last one.
Oh, he's got the mug. What are those? Are those Funkos? Like some sort of Funko?
Yeah, they're little mini blind bag Funkos.
Mini blind bags.
Yeah, I swear, Funko's becoming the new drug dealer because you can't get enough of the stuff they got.
Oh, nice.
Like I saw they're doing for Valentine's Day Star Wars Valentine's Day Pops, where it has like Darth Vader holding a box of chocolates. Or I'm like, I hate that they made this, but I want one. And that's the whole thing. It's like they just make this stuff so you buy them and collect them.
Shmi always said life was like a box of chocolates.
Also,
no.
Let's show my.
Oh,
look, kids are here.
How much was that?
$20.
Wrong movie, dude.
No, it's not. Holiday Road is Christmas Vacation.
No, it's not.
Christmas Vacation.
Right. But Holiday Road is one of the vacations.
It's the first two, I think.
Yeah, the first. And I think even the one in Vegas that people don't like.
I love Vegas Vacation.
I don't mind Vegas. It's not great, but
I got the money.
I just like the whole thing about. I just like the damn tour. You can take as many damn pictures as you want. Take as many damn pictures as you want.
He's not cursing. He's saying damn.
I got a question. Where's the damn bait?
Where's the damn bait? Yep. Oh man. Well, this is fun, guys. BK, it was fun having you on, buddy.
Yeah, it was fun being on.
Yeah, man. Well, good to have somebody to nerd out with me and Adam and talk Star Wars. I mean, look, I've always said that the Unrelated Birth was mine and Adam's text conversation. Well, tonight was mine and your text conversation mixed in with mine and Adam's text conversation.
Right. Yeah, I don't have Adam's number to where I could text him. So yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
This would have been.
It would be all Tony Stark eye rolls anyway, BK.
Oh, come on.
Oh.
I think I did that to you once and you freaked out on me. You're like, what? I'm like,
I didn't do anything, man.
Speaking of sarcasm, were you reading the comments when John Rogers checked in on us, Adam?
I did. So let me tell you, I messaged him in the background, and I explained to him that I'm in a self-isolation for 14 days because my kids are going to my parents' house this weekend. He fully understood. So it's a joke. I reached out to him and explained to him what was going on. He was cool.
Are you going to be self-isolating in March when I'm down there with Turbo and Carrie?
You're coming down on our spring break.
Have we talked about that yet?
Yeah, we talked about that. You asked me the other day, you told me to include you on our dining reservation of 9 people. Do you know how hard it is to get a dining reservation for 9 people?
I got it.
I don't want to make it 13 then. Jeez Louise, man.
I'd love for you to make it 13.
all right, why are you going back down there, Dave?
Such is life's question, BK.
Mm-hmm. Why?
Why not?
So here's the thing, Adam. I've told Dave this 1,000 times, as many times as he's been in Orlando. Just move down there, dude. Apparently you love it. Just move down there. You got a good friend down there. I mean, come on. What do you want? There's nothing in Harvest, Alabama that apparently you love. You'd rather be down there in Orlando.
Technically, I own property in Orlando.
Okay.
Not property. You own like 1/16 of a floor of a room.
I have a deed that has Orlando on it, so Lake Buena Vista. But by the way, BK, my family's here. There are things I love in Harvest.
I understand, but okay, here's the thing, and I'm sorry I'm getting a soapbox here. The best thing that I did was move out of Alabama. As much as I love my family's down there and you're there, I've had more experiences. I've lived in Nashville, the DC area, and now I'm up here in Cleveland. I've had so many experiences, and I kind of feel bad for the people that have only lived in my hometown, especially of Jasper, because there's nothing to do in Jasper. So I would suggest at least try it once. You can do it for 4 years. No. I'm talking about with your family. No. I'm talking about with your family. Do it for at least 4 years, and you'll love it. It'll be the best experiences. Harper will remember it. Ellie will remember it. The time that they lived wherever, they'll remember it, and it'll be great for them. It's exposure, basically.
BK's about to change your life. By all means, lead the way.
Right? By all means, lead the way.
There's 2 places that I'm going to live at right now. One of them is Orlando or Tampa. Actually, it's Tampa. We're going to live in Tampa. And the other one is I would like to at least maybe 3 or 4 years live up in the Seattle Redmond area.
Yeah, me and the city of Tampa just don't get along.
I know you don't.
Not the whole city. See, this is Dave again taking one person and making it the whole city. BK's not Cleveland. Other people aren't Tampa.
I didn't name him Cleveland. He named himself Cleveland.
That's an old podcast, though, man. That's old news.
Old news, yeah. Mm-hmm.
We have new gimmicks now.
I'm proud of you, Adam.
For what?
You're using a wrestling term.
Oh God!
It wasn't intentional. Wasn't it? I didn't know the word gimmick. Now, if I said I worked myself into a shoot, then you'd probably be proud of me.
Yeah.
But I haven't done that. So
Harley is sticking up for me here. The Adams family, Dave's family, is different. They love being close together. She's not wrong. I am 9th or 8th generation Huntsvillian. My kids are 9th generation Huntsvillian. So there you go.
But would they be better off if they at least had one experience outside of the state of Alabama?
My brother does.
He lived in Mississippi. There's nothing in Mississippi. There's. You don't want to live in Mississippi.
My wife's from Mississippi, man. My
People
wife's
who
from
live in, hey, where's she living right now? Is she in Mississippi? No, she's living in Florida. See?
True.
Yeah, that's true.
Just saying.
Thank you, Kathy. Dare to be different. I am daring to be different.
No, you're
I'm
right.
different than the rest of my family anyway.
She's telling you to move, man. That's what she's saying. Dare to be different.
Dare to be different. Exactly.
Look,
Pods.com. You put the stuff in the pod. They pick it up. They drive it down here. They drop it away.
I am in the defense industry. My wife works for NASA. What economically? What city besides Huntsville, Alabama, is best for my family?
Orlando.
If only there was a city that had a major company, I don't know, like Lockheed, with a huge complex that was right down the road from where they launch all of the frickin' rockets.
Yeah. Yeah. How far is that from Orlando, Adam? How far is that?
Hour-ish.
Yeah. Look at
I
that.
know. Look, does Orlando, Houston, or Seattle, Carly, do they have the largest defense conglomerate in the country? Do they have the second largest research park in the country?
Ooh.
Wait, you're not doing research.
So do you? That's what I was. Do you actually touch the things you buy, or do you just buy them?
I just buy them.
Because you can buy from.
I sell surfaces. I sell surfaces for Microsoft. Does that mean that I made a surface? No, it means I just sell it. Yeah. I'm a cog in the wheel.
You're just another brick in the wall, BK.
Yeah, and I'm okay with it. Yeah.
I mean, So anyway, we all think you should move to Florida, Dave. Done.
I mean, might as well. Honestly, might as well. Yeah.
Tell Elise Adams that.
Dear mother, your son love it to Florida.
Hold on. Your son do not love it to Florida.
All right. Okay, so you're saying that the only reason, well, I know your family, and I get that. I love your family too. Your mom and dad are great. But do you think that, or has your mom and dad said that they want to live the rest of their life in Huntsville, Alabama?
Yes.
The rest of their life?
Yes.
They would not want to move down to that condo that you guys have in Orange Beach.
They would not. I guarantee you that my mother will not move out of Huntsville, Alabama until the day she dies. Guaranteed.
Guaranteed.
Okay.
You can take that to the bank.
And thank you, Carly. Enjoy your life no matter where you live. And I do. I enjoy my life to my fullest.
Good.
Yeah.
As you should, but you'd enjoy it a heck of a lot more down here, I'm just saying.
Yeah. You would.
I don't do hot.
4 years, Dave. Do it for 4 years.
We've already established
weather.
No, it's not. I sweat like a lady of ill repute in church when I'm down in Orlando.
Adam, what's the temperature right now in Orlando?
The temperature right now in Orlando is 1 minute for weather on the threes. Let's see. It is currently 51 under clear sky.
Okay, 51. All right.
Tomorrow's low will be 47 with a high of 72.
72. Dang. What I would give for 72-degree weather right now. All right. And plus, Adam is wearing a hoodie right now.
I know. I'm
in Florida, and he's wearing a hoodie. You get acclimated to the weather.
That's the other thing. I don't want to be a local because I don't want Adam to bring that up. If I ever live down there, and like 3 years later in the winter where I'm wearing a sweatshirt, he says, "Hey, Dave, it's not that cold."
You people in Florida, you bunch of Florida idiots in your hoodies in the January. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, man.
All right, so we got to end this. It's late. You've got anyway. I hate you guys.
No, you
just root for the Bucks, man. Come on.
Ooh.
I hate you guys.
I mean, they got Tom Brady. I mean, that's pretty cool. You know?
1 win away from the Super Bowl.
It's true.
I think the only problem you would have, let's be honest real quick, and then we can wrap. The only problem you would have in Orlando is the lack of access to close baseball.
Yep.
That would probably be the biggest thing. With the Fire Frogs,
I'd be
you'd
closer.
have the Flying Tigers in Lakeland. You got the Braves spring training in Sarasota, and you got the Rays over on the coast. That's
I'd
the
be
closest.
closer to Major League Baseball.
That's true. It's a hike to the Rays Stadium, man. Whoo, the Trop is like it's worth
Nashville gets a ballpark, a ball team like they're talking about.
it.
Yeah. Never happened.
You never say never, sir.
The Trash Pandas, man. What do you need with Major League Baseball, man? You've got 5-cent hot dog night at the Trash Pandas, dude.
You got that right.
Just get me a minor team. I'm good with that.
Are they going to play this year, though? They didn't play last season.
They've already said that the minor league season is going to go on.
There you go. Trash Panda it all up.
Yes, sir. I got my hat. All right, guys. Thank y'all. We love y'all. What was that?
Trash Pandas. It's a record.
Oh, BKB. Okay. Anyway, guys, we love y'all. We'll talk to y'all next week. Be kind to each other. Don't please. If you have to, turn the news off tomorrow. Hug your kids. Tomorrow's going to be. Hopefully, nothing's going to happen. But if tomorrow's like 2 weeks ago, turn the news off. That's all you got to do. Turn your news off. Surround yourself with what really matters: your family and your friends.
And Star Wars.
And Star Wars.
Things in Orlando.
All right, guys. We'll talk to y'all later. Love y'all. See y'all next week.
Bye, everybody.